Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do a Happy Mail video and also, excuse me, do a flip through of my journal here. So I'm going to just put the journal to one side and we will do the flip through in a moment. So let me just lift my camera up slightly. Hopefully that's kind of going to be good enough. So I got this wonderful Happy Mail. I haven't opened it to see what's in it. I have opened it and I have read the lovely accompanying letter. Which I got a wonderful note from Catherine. So thank you so much, Catherine. I can't tell you how much all your lovely sentiments meant to me in your letter, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. So thank you so much. I'm just going to obviously take everything out. I have not, as I say, actually taken things out. Oops, it's tightly packed in there. Oh, full to the brim. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, thank you so much. Look at these goodies. And my eyes are straight away drawn to instantly. Wow, this Inca Gold. If you follow my channel, you'll know that I've had this. Oh, let me reach and get it. My Inca Gold for like years and years, to the point. Look at it. It's just cracked up and just awful. Yeah. So I absolutely love this stuff, and yeah, very excited. Her note did say that she had enclosed this, so it's still sealed, so I'm not going to dip my finger in or anything. But oh, thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you. And silver, which I've never had the silver before. So wow, very excited by that. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Oh, and then some more wonderful napkins, which, oh, I am just loving having so many napkins to choose from. I think I've said before, but I do have this tendency with napkins to just hoard them. And oh, look at this gorgeous one. This is really similar to another one that I have, but this is completely different colours and completely different flowers and things. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I love this one. It's on a kind of, don't know whether you can see that. It's not craft colour, you know, craft card coloured, but it's like paper towel colour. It's not white, if you can just see there. I've never seen a napkin on that kind of colour background before, so that's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much. Oh, a lovely autumnal one there. Oh, two of those. Thank you so much. These are lovely. Oh, I love this one. Look at this. Oh, a few of these. Oh, thank you so much. There's several of these, so I can be really generous with these. Aren't they gorgeous? And that's the back. I wonder if they're kind of like doubled up or whether they've got something different in the, yeah, doubled up. Aren't they gorgeous? I love anything to do with Paris, so they are amazing. Thank you so much. Let me just move that to one side. Oh, and fantastic, more of this gorgeous brown paper. I had to laugh because Catherine did say, oh, it needs ironing. Seriously, Catherine, this is absolutely fine, because, you know, whatever you use this for, it may actually kind of add to it being sort of crumpled. So I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, what are these? Oh, little sort of sponge dabbers. These must be like ink blender mini things. Let me just take one out. Honestly, these Happy Mails, sometimes you just receive things you've never seen before, and I have never seen these before. Aren't they gorgeous? Ah, they are lovely. Honestly, I've never seen these tiny ones before, so they're absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at this gorgeous doily. Isn't that lovely? Did you knit this? I can't knit or crochet to save my life, so this is amazing. Thank you very much. And I bet that would coffee dye nicely. Well, I might just try a little sample just to make sure, but isn't that lovely? That's gorgeous. Thank you so much. I love this tissue paper. Oh, wow, look. Yes, I did read the embroideries and things. Oh my gosh, aren't these gorgeous? Look at these linens. There's this one, which is absolutely beautiful. Look. I don't know whether the camera will really pick that up, but absolutely gorgeous. I don't very often see things like this over here. You know, with the sort of patterns and things. Oh, this is fantastic. Look. Isn't that just brilliant? And it's got sort of polka dots, which you probably can't see on camera. You might be able to, but I wonder whether you can't. And then this one here. Oh, these are just fantastic, because actually I do struggle sometimes to have just plain fabrics. I don't know about you guys, but when I buy fabrics, I'm always drawn to the bright colourful ones, or the floral or patterned. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Look. It's Bo Peep. Well, it might not be Bo Peep, but it looks like Bo Peep to me. Oh, and it's actually shaped around her. Look. Isn't that the most gorgeous, gorgeous embroidery? That's so pretty. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I love that. Thank you very much. I don't know whether that's a tablecloth. I won't open it here because, of course, I'm not going to fit it in for you guys, but that is so lovely. I absolutely love that. And I do love this tissue paper too. I might have to keep this. Probably hoard it, but yeah, it's lovely. Oh, and it's even got a scalloped edge. Oh, that's so pretty. Thank you. Oh, wow. Look, embroidery threads. That's fantastic, because of course I always use these for binding my journal. So that's amazing. And yes, I read the fabric ruffle. Oh my gosh, look at the length of that. That's amazing. Oh, thank you. That is a really nice piece of fabric, I must say. And look at your neat stitching. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, thank you so much. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Oh, and as if I wasn't spoilt enough, there's even more goodies here. So I've got some, oh my gosh. Do you know what? I thought this was just some card actually holding everything flat. Look at that tissue. Isn't that so beautiful? Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. And oh, there seem to be several sheets of this. Wow, thank you so much. I really, really, really love it. Oh, that's awesome. Do you know, I have actually never done decoupage with tissue. I've only used napkins. So yeah, I know that Laura had sent me some tissue. I think it was Tim Holtz tissue, but I have hoarded that. I've never used it. So yeah, maybe it's time that I actually try some stuff with the tissue. That's so lovely. Oh, what an awesome print on there. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Feeling very, very excited and spoilt again. So it really is quite overwhelming when you get these packages. They're just so full of amazing goodies. And you see these file folders. I've never had any of these, would you believe? We don't seem to get them in this manila colour, or certainly I haven't seen them. I don't know whether I'm the only person who hasn't, but they are fantastic. Thank you so, so much. And then she did say that she had enclosed some junk mail envelopes, so that's absolutely awesome too. Oh, this is fantastic. I have been using this quite a bit lately, the sewing pattern paper. I'd had it for a really long time, and I go through phases, but lately I seem to have kind of resurrected it. So oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And yours is a really nice colour. My last you know, packets that I bought two, I think it was, at the same time, from a charity shop, and they were very yellow. They weren't this kind of nice brownie sort of colour. So oh, thank you so much, Catherine. I really do appreciate it, and I so loved reading your letter. Like I say, it just, oh, touched my heart so much. So thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate it. As I always say, I cannot believe people's generosity. It's literally overwhelming. I can't believe it. So thank you very much. And yeah, I hope you guys all loved seeing my goodies. I'm quite kind of puffed out now from just going through it. So can't wait to finish the video and have another rummage through. So thank you very much. Right, I will just do a quick flip through of this journal. So this is the journal that I did with the bubble wrap envelope. So it's a really nice squishy journal, obviously because it's made from that bubble wrap envelope. If you followed along, I reinforced the spine with some Tyvek, just not because I thought it was tearing, but because it was quite floppy, even more floppy than I'd expected. And then I have put some snippet roll here and some crochet lace, a couple of flowers. I'm pretty sure that I did this cover on a video, but you know, it's quite hard to keep track of everything, to be honest, but I'm sure I did do this one on camera. And then it's got a snippet roll here as well. It ties up with this ribbon, which I doubled up and just tied a bow here. And I try and tie the bow slightly round the front so it's really showing. The size of the journal is just slightly under 9 inches. At the widest part, oh my gosh, it's like 4.5 inches, huge, by just over 6.5 inches there. And if we untie it and go inside, I love how this journal turned out, I must say. So on the inside, I covered it again with more fabric, which, you know, I just love how that looks. And then I've put this big pocket on here, and inside the pocket, I just enclosed a sort of flippy pad, but inside a, you know, a flip. And this is made from some file folder, but that's what I say. I only seem to ever see file folders over here in like this colour or black, or yeah, sometimes they're like dark green, or they tend to be luminous colours. I don't very often see them in that nice ivory colour. So yeah, this is that. It's got a cluster on the front and some of my Victorian Florals Set 2 background papers. So you've got, yeah, obviously quite a bit of journaling space in there, because you've got sort of scraps there basically for your pages. And I just tore them. So that goes in there. I put a fabric ruffle down there and a bow, and then some lace on the side. Then on this page, I've put a little pocket, and you've got just an image there. I don't know whether that is a pocket. I can't remember now. Oops, I think it is. So I wonder if I could just tuck something in. Not that one. Hold on. Just going to tuck this in there so you've got something in the pocket. So there we go. And then here I've just got some stamping. I don't know whether I'm in frame now, sorry. Got some stamping here in the corners, and then tucked inside I've just got that lovely magnetised flip out that's been made from that sheet music there. It's got a couple of tickets on the side. And then going over the page, this is one of those slot pockets that we made during the mass making. I don't believe it. Already I've now hit a second piece which has got no tag. So again, let me just pop a little tag in there. So I've just put a little butterfly tag in there, and then I've done it like a belly band across the page. So again, this is that Victorian Floral Set 2. Got some lace trim there and a little flower. And then here I just have got one of my letters, which these are my Victorian papers, I think these are called in my shop. I have coffee dyed these and, you know, inked it up, and then I did the wax seal on the front. Again, I think I did the wax seal on a video, but I can't be sure. Then here I've got a cluster acting as a tuck spot, and I've just tucked in, you know, one of those photos that I did a tutorial on using the book images from vintage books and magazines. So I've got that one, and then a just stamped image there. I thought they were quite nice. So they just go in there. Then going over the page, this is one of those double, treble, what do you call these? Side loading pockets. And again, I've popped a cluster on here, some ruffle and some bling. And then tucked in the back, this is one of my tracing paper envelopes. So it's stitched around onto book page. Inside there, this is just literally some, you know, copies of some vintage pieces. And I just then held them together with a little brad at the side. They just go in there. You've got some lace obviously on here and a little label. Lace trim on the flap. And then tucked into like flat number, I guess 2, because this one. Again, this is just some cover of some sheet music. So it's quite marked and things because obviously it is vintage, but I thought it was quite nice. It, you know, it feels lovely. And yeah, I just thought it complemented the journal quite nicely. So that goes in there. And then here I've just included one of my little lady journaling cards there. So I'll tuck that back in here. It's really hot up here already, so I'm sort of struggling in the heat, I'm afraid. Then I've got one of those massive paper clips that we made in the mass making a few weeks ago. So it's just layered up and things. And that's holding on another one of my tracing paper envelopes, but this time it's one of those big ones. Again, I've used a magnet closure, and it's got the most lovely paper. This is from my Edwardian Supper papers, and it's just printed onto tracing paper and then obviously stitched onto that vintage sheet music. It's all been inked up. A little vintage postage stamp on some lace with some bling, some lace here and a little flower. I love how this envelope looks. And then tucked in the envelope, what I've done is I just made a little flippy book, stapled it, But what I did was I kind of folded the papers over and then I've torn them down. The outside is a copy of that vintage certificate of baptism there. I've just put on a little notes book plate there from my book plates printable. But I loved how this looks because this is that food coloured paper. So you've got this sort of, well, it's not a rainbow, but that kind of effect there. And then I just glued a little bit of doily on the back there for some extra sort of prettiness. So that just tucks into there and magnetise, you know, closure. And then you've got, sorry, let me just click that back on. Then you've got just some blank pages for journaling, some vintage book page with some verse on there, some stamping in the corners, again more stamping there. And then you've got a pocket here, you've got one of my little numbers, some doily, and then a ruffle, some lace here and some bling. And then tucked in, you've just got a stamped image there. So I love how this pocket looks, it's really nice and fun. Then you've got one of those torn pockets that again we did in the mass making recently, and I've got some lace here and some fabric ruffle, which actually is the same fabric as what's on the cover. And tucked in there you've just got one of my little printable postcard pieces. This is some decoupage napkin here with some doily and some lace. And then again you've got some more stamping. Oops, let me tuck this in and then I will show you. Oh no, I'm now struggling to get this in. Clearly it did go in because I had got it in there in the first place, but it's always tricky when you're doing these things, you know, from afar, because I'm obviously trying to keep my head out. So you've got some stamping in the corners and things. Then you've got here a little sort of, this was with that bread packaging, like a framed tuck. So it's just in a frame there with some roses and flowers and things. And then another one of my lady printables, and actually this is also a pocket in the side, and you've just got a copy of some of my vintage paperwork there. So again, that all just tucks in, oops, tucks into that side. More stamping here, you've got then a book page pocket, lots of layering going on, and then I just tucked in a little printable there, and a printable in the back of one of my sort of large photo printables. So they're all obviously, you know, vintage copies of things. Then stamping here, some doily, some vintage sheet music, some stamping, more stamping. So you've got quite a few plain pages for journaling, another plain one there with some stamping. And then we're on the centre of the signature. Now here I've got, again, this is one of those old paper clips again, which we did, and I just thought colour-wise it just picked all this up really nicely. These again are my vintage florals set 2 papers, which I just loved how they looked in here in the middle of the signature. So I tried to keep it quite plain. I have a feeling, yeah, I thought I'd left that as a pocket. So let me just grab something else to pop in there. Honestly, I know I've said this recently, but it's so handy being able to just grab things because I'm filming at my desk now. The flip throughs always used to be not from my desk, and obviously then I had to rely on remembering. So you've got a pocket there just with this vintage image here, and then this is that lovely what would we call this, like a fold out booklet, which I got this idea from Scrapbooking with Me, and again I did my kind of take on it. So just open that out, and then you've got a pocket here, which I just included some printed tracing paper, which again, it's kind of torn down here, but I left that because I thought it looked really nice, and I've just inked it up. So that just folds into 3 and then just slots into that pocket there. Oops, try not to get it caught on the brad. Okay. Then you've got another pocket here with one of my little photos, vintage photo, another vintage photo there. These are copies, they're not the originals. And then you've got just a little printable there tucked in at the side. And then it all obviously closes back shut, and you just find the baker's twine round as a closure. And obviously that was just clipped on with that huge paper clip. So again, just clip that on. And then on this side, I just put a flip out, but this is using that same vintage Victorian Floral Set 2 papers. And I just printed it small. So I just printed it small and on card. And then I was able to obviously just make this little flip, which I just loved. And then I layered it up with a little sort of cluster on the front, which I just thought looked really nice. Some lace and some bling. You've got some lace here. And then going over the page, we've got another pocket here. This is one of my collage pages, and you've got some lace at the bottom, some doily there, and some stamping. And then here you've just got one of those postcards that's a stamped image. Oops. And then here I've just got clipped onto the side some of my little floral note cards and envelopes. These are just a printable from my shop, but you know, they're really super cute and quite versatile. So they're just all, oops, they're just all in that little envelope, oops, like that, and paper clipped on this time just with a plain paper clip. You just clip on there, and over on the flap of the envelope you've got those florals. More stamping. I don't know whether did that go in that way. Yeah, it did. Otherwise it was a bit long. More stamping here. These are your plain pages for journaling. And you've got some sheet music again and some doily, more plain page. And then here you've just got a little butterfly sort of flapping. Oops, this has got crumpled slightly. So here you've got one of those flip down opening pieces. So that just flips down. It is a little bit caught under here, I have to say. But I mean, it does still flip down. So yeah. Then inside, I just popped in another vintage photograph, and the closure is one of my vintage tickets. It's got lace and bling and things. And then tucked in behind it, it's a tuck spot. You've got one of my large vintage photograph printables that just tucks in like that. And then again, some more of that cover of the sheet music, which again, I just made a sort of foldy piece. And then I've just inked it up. It was quite sort of coloured anyway. And then just put some of my dominoes, Once Upon a Time, and some lace at the top. So that just goes in like that. One of my little button embellishments there at the corner, and some stamping. Then on this side, I love how this cluster looks. It was really quite a simple cluster, but for some reason, it's just so pretty. I'm just going to lift that up. I don't know whether you can see that, but oh, I just absolutely love the colours and things in it. It just looked so pretty. And then you've got some fabric ruffle down there. And then here, just one of my lady cards. And then here you've just got, it's a double book page pocket. And then I just put a flip out attached to it as well. With, again, some more of those Victorian Florals Set 2 papers and Once Upon a Time. And then inside the book page, aha! I told you that I've been using my sewing pattern paper, didn't I? So this is sewing pattern paper, which has been decoupaged onto tracing paper. And now I've glued it closed. Oh gosh, come on. There we go. I had glued on, not glued, but you know, Mod Podged onto tracing paper, and it just gives a sort of, I don't really know what I would compare this to, but yeah, it feels really fun and really nice, and it feels really robust. I don't think it is robust. I wouldn't try and tear it, but you know, anyway, it's just a little sort of envelope flip. And when you open it up, again, I just did one of those kind of little flippy pads, but staggered a bit like I did with the rainbow one at, you know, towards the beginning. And then I've just put one of those little closures like that, and some lace and doily. So that just tucks into there. Then here you've just got a little tuck, and again, just a little flippy pad. Now this is all fly sheet bits, not fly sheets, but you know, blankish pages from a book. So they have got page numbers on them. That doesn't worry me, but I do want to point it out. They're not completely plain. They do have those page numbers, but I think it works fine, and they look super pretty. Love how this pocket looks. It just really does look pretty. And then you've got a bow and some lace, some more lace here and some bling. And then tucked in the side, again, another one of my little floral postcard printables. And going over the page, I left this plain to just take in that gorgeous Victorian Florals Set 2 papers. Then here I've just got one of my tabs, which is a paper clip. Now I have to confess, this paper clip has gone quite baggy, which is such a shame because, you know, I'm not quite sure why it's done that. I mean, some paper clips are just more bendy than others, and I guess this was one of those. But it does sort of hold this on, but I do want to point that out. And then this, I just made this huge journaling card. Again, I can't remember whether I might have done this on camera when we did working with large book images. But I love how this looks, and I just thought colour-wise this went really nicely with this journal. And then I just punched in a couple of holes with eyelets and paid, you know, hole reinforcers. Little number tab there and some lace and the word serendipity. On the back I just popped on a vintage postage stamp and stamped with a postmark. So I love that journaling card, and I really love using big journaling cards. They are so fun. So that just clips on there, and then here obviously plain pages for journaling. You've got your stamping, more stamping, some book page, more stamping. Here I just sort of clustered up some doily and their they lived happily ever after little sentiment there from my printables, my fairy tale words. And then a butterfly here, which it's one of my layered ones, which again we did in the mass make, so it's kind of a 3D one because you've got several layers there going on, and you've got some bling in the middle, so I love how that looks. And then going over the page, another cluster in the corner, which again I really love how that one turned out also. It's just really pretty colours. And then you've got a butterfly there stamped on, stapled onto the cluster, and again another one of those Victorian papers with the wax seal, so it flips out, it's all been distressed and things. Then here another one of those slot pockets, and this time it's got a little tag piece in there already, and I've just popped a label on there for journaling, so that goes all neatly into there. Lace and some bling. And then here, this is one of my fabric tags that I made. Again, used one of my little tabs there as a tab for the tag, and lots of bling, some lace, a little book plate and things, lots of things on there. And then here, some of my vintage ticket printables. That all just slots in, whoops, in there like that. And then going over the page, this is the last page. So here we've got a treble book page, a treble page pocket. And I also have done a little side pocket. So you've got a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket in this side, and a pocket here. So in this pocket at the top, this is some scrapbook paper. I had distress ink this way back when I first started doing journals, and I thought you had to scrumple the paper, you know, before coffee dyeing it. So that's why it's so marked here, but I rather like it, and I love the paper, absolutely love it. So yeah, I've enclosed that. It's got a shaped edge and sort of done a bit like an envelope. So I thought it just went really nicely with the journal. That goes in there. And then the next pocket has got a small tag, again with some of those Victorian florals, some dominoes, and a small tag on there and a piece of fabric. This pocket here has just got a tiny printed vintage printout. And then here I've got fabric ruffle, which matches again the cover, and tucked in the side another one of those vintage photograph printables. And then here we've got a large fabric pocket. It's different fabric to this obviously, but I thought it matched quite well. And then what I did was I just made, with an envelope, a sort of, you know, used the envelope flat, punched a hole in, made a little wraparound with some string, which I then just, you know, hook over like that, and then collaged up some little bits and pieces. And then inside there you've got some doily page, and then some of those gorgeous coloured, food coloured papers, and I've just bound it in like a journal. So I mean, it's not tons of pages in there, but you've got quite a few pages. And the outside page I just thought was lovely to put one of those Victorian paperwork pieces on as well. So that just literally, oops, wraps around and then just tucks in like that, and then that just tucks into that pocket, and that's it. Oops, if I can actually get that in there. There we go, and that's it. And so then the whole thing closes, and obviously I sort of try and tie it a bit towards the front so that the bow is, you know, really nicely visible on the front of the journal like that. And then you can obviously, you know, mess around with your bow and make it bigger or smaller, or, you know, however you want it to be, basically. So I hope you like it. And yeah, thank you so much again to Catherine for my happy mail. I so appreciate it. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope you like the journal flip through. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Thanks then. Bye.